Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed. This is my channel Alec Reed, and today we are reading chapter 85, All Alone. I think that this goes without saying, but this one is going to be a bit of a tearjerker, just so you know. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, whether the comment is just saying hello or whether it's leaving recommendations. I love all of them, and I will respond to all of them. So, also, I respond to them. So, if you leave a comment, go back and look at it and see if I responded, and also see if I asked you any questions, because I do that sometimes. Anyway, let's jump right into the video. Chapter 85, All Alone. Nick's perspective. Charlie woke up and didn't say a word. No good morning or I love you. He just got out of bed and walked away. I really thought this whole thing would be over by now. I didn't think he would still be keeping to himself today. I didn't even want to get out of bed. I wanted to pout all day, sulking in my own misery, but that will just make everything worse, making Charlie feel guilty. I feel like I can't even be around Charlie right now. As much as it breaks my heart to see him in such a bad place, it's making me frustrated and annoyed at him a little. I probably sound like the biggest jerk in history of jerks, but he should know that I would respect his wishes to give him space or to not talk about what happened until he's ready, but instead he's just completely cut me out. It's not fair that he's left me in the dark. He should communicate what he wants with me. From me, not just kick me to the curb. I need some space from him, because seeing him like this is making me truly upsetting me, and there's nothing I can do to help. And I need to fix this. And there's nothing I can do to help the need to fix this. Except leave. Charlie was on the couch, and still hasn't eaten anything since yesterday afternoon. It was worrying me more now as time passes by. There's nothing I can do when he's just ignoring me. If he doesn't have anything by the time I get back from Mom's, then I'll have to do something. I have no idea what, but I need to step in, because at this point, it's gone too far. Charlie, I'm going to my mom's today. Okay. He barely mumbled. Can you eat something while I'm gone? I'm really starting to worry. Mm-hmm. He nods his head slightly. Call me if you need anything, or if anything goes wrong, please. Yes, Nick. He says, just as quiet as before. Bye. I love you. Love you. Charlie's perspective. As the door to our cozy apartment creaked shut, I let myself cry. And this wasn't because of my mom, it was because of the wrench I'm throwing between me and Nick. Have I really let my mom ruin my relationship? Nick has gone off to his mom's house just to avoid being around me. I can't blame him, because who would want to be around me right now? I'm being awful to him. I've worked through it, and I'm understanding what my mom said was wrong and hurtful. When she said it, I believed her. I thought I should have killed myself. But if I did, I would have missed out on all these great memories with my soon-to-be husband. I would have missed out on moving out of that awful house and finally feeling happy. Who I live with, who I've missed my fucking wedding. I've come to terms with the fact that my mom is a horrible mother, and has always been a horrible mother. But it's hard to say that about someone you care about, and always will care about, deep down inside you. Now I'm feeling all this pain, all the memories of when I was really sick, and they're coming back full force. all the times she threw stuff at me for not eating enough, or all the lectures about how I was a burden to the family. And it was better when I was locked up in the mental institution. Sometimes I let my past take over me. I was starting to think Nick would rather me locked up too. I feel like I'm battling myself at this point. A few hours later. I'm kind of on edge. I don't want to say worried because I know Nick is safe. He told me he was going to his mom's, but it's been a long time since he's left. The sun is starting to set, and I don't know when he'll be back. My phone that was in my back pocket started to vibrate. I took it out of my pocket and glanced at who was calling, hoping it would be Nick, but it wasn't. But it was the next best thing. His mom, Sarah. Hi, Charlie, darling. Nicky is pretty tired, and I'm not sure if he wants to drive back home tonight. He'll probably spend the night. Is that alright with you? Are you okay tonight? I cleared my throat and took a deep breath. I needed to put on a brave face now. She can tell Nick that I'm alright, and he won't worry. He does that enough. Yeah, that's alright with me. I'm fine here. Are you sure, baby? Because Nick is quite anxious. Tell him that I'm physically fine. You better not be lying, love. It's not just Nick that worries about you. I love you both so much. I'm not, I promise. Okay, sweetie. Remember, I'm always here and your #1 supporter. I could never forget your kindness, Sarah, and thank you. Oh, and could you please tell Nick that I love him a lot? Of course, darling. I feel the shivers rolling down my entire spine at the thought of Nick not being in the same house as me, not sleeping with me. I was going to be alone all night. I've never slept anywhere alone before. It scared me even if I was considered an adult. I need to talk to Nick. I want to tell him everything. I want him to hold me as I cry. I don't want to do this alone anymore. I'm going over to Sarah's tomorrow. I laid down in bed wearing one of Nick's hoodies from the laundry hamper to catch his familiar scent. I laid down in the middle of the bed, curled into a ball, letting out small sobs into the sleeves of the hoodie. Nobody's perspective. The tan boy with long skinny arms and legs laid curled into a circular shape in the dead center of the bed, wishing nothing more than for his sweet, light-haired fiancée to come home through the door of the bedroom they share, and cuddle up beside him, squeezing him tight and wiping away his tears, but unfortunately for that boy, that didn't happen. He was left lying there with a broken heart, hoping tomorrow could be, fixed by his lover. Chapter 86. Call Me Mom. Nick's perspective. I slumped back into my bed as I heard my mom knock on my old bedroom door for the 5th time this morning. I get she's worried about the whole situation and that she might be missing being there for me all the time, but I've told her all I know about what has happened. So her bringing it up is just making me cry, and I can't stop once I've started. It's all I've been doing these past few days, and I hate it. I broke down crying twice last night in front of my mom. She can be a bit too much sometimes, so I definitely don't want her to come in and see me crying for a 3rd time. I pressed my face against the pillow so I didn't feel so cold with the tears streaming down my face. Mom, I'm tired. Please, just leave me to sleep. I could hear her run her fingers along the door, as if she was stroking it. Do you need to talk more? I took a deep breath in, calming myself from snapping at my mom. No, Mom, I've already talked about enough. Alrighty then. Nikki, it's going to be fine. Charlie will be fine. My breath started to stagger as the need to cry out loud was getting more intense. How did she know Charlie was fine? That's the point. She doesn't. Nobody does. The only person who knows is Charlie. My mom makes her way back downstairs. I pound my fists on the bed, so frustrated with myself. Why didn't I stay at home with Charlie? What happens if he would have opened up to me? Charlie's perspective. I didn't wake up this morning because I never went to sleep. I tried, but felt like my past traumas turned into a ghost and were haunting me. I could see Ben's face everywhere. It was burned into my memory. I went into our closet and grabbed my favorite Nick sweater, pulling it over my head and taking the one I left that was now full of sweat and tears. I was going to put on my everyday black skinny jeans, but I decided to wear a blue wash pair that Nick loved on me. He insisted I wear them just once, and true to my promise, I did, but never put them on again. New articles of clothing are hard for me to wear because I feel like I look bad in everything. I started wearing black skinny jeans and just never stopped. I never put them on in the mirror and contemplated for 2 hours if they looked decent on me or not. I put them on and they looked the same as always. I never had to wonder what they'll look like with this shirt or jumper because I already knew. I have no idea what has gotten into my head that made me put on the blue wash jeans today, but I did, and I felt good about it. I went to the washroom and used gel and some leave-in conditioner to style my hair. I put extra care into it this morning. It almost felt like I was back in high school when I would get ready to go over to Nick's, making sure I looked perfect. I would walk over with a pit in my stomach, excited to see my boyfriend, but also a little nervous. Now he sees me drooling with my hair all messy, snoring beside him in bed. There's no pressure to impress him anymore because we're completely comfortable around each other. But today was different. I felt the pressure. An hour later, I stepped onto the familiar doorstep that was Sarah's. I knocked gently on the door, hoping that Sarah would open the door, giving me a few minutes to prepare myself to tell Nick everything. And that she did. Hi, baby. It's good to see you. Oh, how I've missed you, coming around here all the time. I smiled, and she pulled me inside and wrapped me up in a hug. I just hugged her back. She parted from me, and I did the same. And I said to her with a genuine tone, I wish my mom was like you. I knew Nick would have told her about my birthday, so I thought I should just be honest with her. She tilted her head in a soft way and rubbed my shoulders. Well, I am your mother-in-law, aren't I? I nodded my head yes, before saying, well, almost, Sarah. She took a sip out of her mug and then asked, I've been meaning to ask you something since the proposal. I would be honored if you would call me Mom. Would you do that, baby? My cheeks burned and flushed a bright pink, and a smile on my face grew bigger at the thought of Nick's wonderful mom asking me if I would call her Mom. She accepted me and wanted me. Yeah, I would really like that. She pulled me in for another long hug. I felt so at peace and happy at Mom's house. That sounded so weird to even think. I've never thought of Sarah as my mom before, but I'm so happy I do now. I should probably go talk to Nick, I said nervously. She looked at me, reading my expression like a book. Go easy on him. He's upset and emotional right now. He feels really bad about not staying with you yesterday. I nodded. taking in the new information that was handed to me. I knew he would beat himself up about this. I know I have my many problems with my mental health, but I'm an adult now and I can take care of myself. Though I don't like being by myself at the house. If he needs some space, then he shouldn't feel guilty about leaving me. Or not going just because he's scared I'm going to hurt myself. I walked up the stairs to Nick's old room. Alright, and that is the end of today's episode. I'm really sorry it got left off on a cliffhanger, but come back for the next episode and then you'll figure out what happens. Chapter 87, I Need Comfort, is the next episode. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment down below, whether it's just commenting hey or whether it's leaving recommendations. I love both. Anyway, I Still Think You're Beautiful will also be posted today. And good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, friends.